Smart 24, driving business.
A very good morning and welcome to Smart Means Business. This is Smart 24 and the date today is 22nd November of 2024. It is yet another cold November morning and I hope that you are safe and driving safely today as the morning seems to be cold and a bit drizzly. Very good morning again. Let's get into the press review. My name is Falda Chirabo and I'll be taking you through the press review as Andrew Barija is sick today and he can't be able to make it. So starting off with the Daily Monitor, like I said, the date is 22nd of November 2024 and the front page of Daily Monitor says that there are fresh details regarding the kidnap of Besigye, which happened earlier this week and was made public by his wife, Winnie Byanyima. And in this, we see that he has been retained at Luzira Upper Prisons. And according to this, he was taken over from Kenya by Ugandan army who were disguised as the Kenyan army and driving in Kenyan cars. And on reaching the border of Uganda and Kenya, that is when they changed their outfits to the Ugandan army and started to transition from speaking Kiswahili to Luganda. That story, you can find it in the Daily Monitor of today. And we should be reminded that Besigye is a presidential candidate who ran who tried to go for it 4 times and still failed. And his arrest is attributed to being armed with weapons that could be causing a number of issues by our own government. Moving forward to, again, the Daily Monitor, the government closes 120 baby homes, and this is due to the high levels of the increasing numbers of children in these homes and a lot of unhygienic measures that are being taken when it comes to taking care of them, as well as the increased sexual abuse because of the sleeping arrangement of the children in these homes. And moving forward, the government is to introduce a digital roadmap for the children. We see that there's been a continuing digital transformation in today's day and age, and the government is hoping to surpass that by introducing new digital reforms to the education systems of the young people of today. The government also embarks on 38 billion Ugandan shillings blueprint to upgrade 30 hospitals, and those are the government hospitals in order to provide for the economy and the citizens a very good health facility. And then when it comes to the construction of the SGR, known as the Standard Gauge Railway, it has already been in motion, and we see that there is over 600,000 jobs up for grabs. And His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is the one who is telling us more about this. Now, the SGR is a railway line that is being constructed, and hopefully it will be passing through Tororo, among other Ugandan land. And yes, there is a number of jobs that are up for grabs. Moving forward in the Daily Monitor of today, we see that on page 10, vaccines and victory, 50 years of UNEP fighting childhood diseases. UNEP is Uganda National Expanded Program on Immunization, and it has really worked a lot in fighting all immunizable diseases among the children, such as polio, among others. And as of today, they celebrate 50 years again during their fight against childhood diseases. Congratulations to that. And we have an insight on NSSF's voluntary saving plan to offer more interest. And that is what you'll be able to see or interact with in today's Daily Monitor. moving forward, we see that there's been a giant casino that has been opened up. Uganda is one of the countries with the largest and one giant casino, and that is more information that you can find in today's Daily Monitor. And moving forward to the festivities, as the year comes to an end, we see that there is a write-up about Nyege Nyege's unbearable weight of massive success. And this is an annual event that brings about a number of nationalities to celebrate in the heart of Uganda, known as Jinja. So that is what was happening as Nyege Nyege for this year happened last weekend in Jinja. And moving forward, we still see conversations around mental illnesses, as this is something that is taking over a lot and causing harm in today's society, for people who cannot be able to control their mental illnesses or be able to live past them. So the Daily Monitor is, of course, assessing the situation and looking at some of the causes that could be bringing about the increased level of mental illnesses as well as suicide cases. So please grab a copy of Daily Monitor and you'll be able to go through that. Then moving forward, as we prepare for the incoming 2026 elections, we see there is an article about why opposition parties fall short in by-elections. And for all my political interested people, please do not forget to take a look at what that conversation has to say in order to prepare yourself for these forthcoming elections as well as the campaigns. And that and more is what you'll find in today's Daily Monitor. So moving over to the New Vision, the front page is about how the Standard Railway will change Uganda. And on a positive note, this is something that is going to be bringing about infrastructure development. And we hope that with that, as we can see in the Daily Monitor, there is already over 60,000 jobs that are up for grabs. And that should be something that is a positive direction for the Uganda's economy, as it will provide not only a change in the business environment, but as well as promote more and available job opportunities for the Ugandan people. And that is what the SGR will be looking at and how it will boost Uganda's economy. And in New Vision, we have an article about how Kenya speaks about on Besigye's abduction, which was again announced earlier in the week by his wife, Winnie Byanyima. And it happened from Kenya to Uganda, so Kenya is speaking about it. And to follow the conversation, please get yourself a copy of the New Vision today. Looking again at Uganda's exports, we see that there's been an increased export earning as well as exports to Spain, and that is in the agriculture space, those being avocado. So you can be able to get that and more. And interestingly, when it comes again to the corruption and unfair money usage of our leaders, we see that there is an article on the Assistant RDC Majambere remanded over theft, where there is a claim that he stole land from a 70-year-old gentleman, and this land is over 300 acres, as well as stole money from those people as well. And he's currently appearing behind court in the Gomba Magistrates Court. And this is an interesting conversation as we navigate some of the reasons as to why Uganda is still lagging behind when it comes to political tendencies of the nation. So in case you want to get into that conversation, please get yourself a copy of today's New Vision. And moving forward again, we see that there's been an accreditation to UNEP again for celebrating 50 years and their dedication towards serving the livelihood of Uganda's economy. And we look again into the insights and lessons from the Kisoro by-election, where they've been choosing a representative due to the loss of the previous one. Again, looking at conservation and the conversations around the climate change, we see on, again in Daily Monitor, some of the things that should be done to protect the green environment, such as the Bugoma forest. And then we talk about some of the insecurities as well as the high crime rates in Uganda, where a gentleman was shot down yesterday in Tinda. This is a mobile money owner. And as the year comes to an end, we are always prepared for such conversations because the high crime rate rockets up by far because probably people are trying to look for a source of income to be able to enjoy the festive season. So if you are out there, please look forward to protecting yourself as well as your loved ones. Stay safe, don't move alone at night. You know, avoid all the things that could be able to get your life in danger, for we need you still. So please keep yourself safe and take care of yourself. And that is what we had for the press review. Please keep yourself warm this early morning as you get yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor or the New Vision to keep updated on what's trending in the country. Thank you so much. Let's go for a brief break and we'll come back with our business inspirational insight.
Smart 24, driving business.
Chichi baby ababbi bakutte abapoliisi tulina obeera mu nsonga zino. Ababbi bakutte abapoliisi.
This is Matoma, and well there, scored against the club with which he won the title more than a decade ago, and it's the 100th goal.
Upgrade to become BFF with the Premier League and enjoy football's best moments at only 90,000 shillings. Go TV Uganda. Love it.
Two of the most decorated clubs in English football. It is always a big deal with these.
And Garnacho! That is of the very high.
Stream all 380 matches for just 15,200 shillings on Showmax Premier League. Visit showmax.com to get started.
Oli mukyala munna bizinesi era oyagala bizinesi yeekulaakulane, gavumenti ya Uganda ekuleetedde ssente za Grow era nga weewola okuva ku bukadde buno okutuuka ku bukadde 2 n'osasula mu bbanga lya myaka 2 ate nga gw'asasula mu budde oli nnamukisa ddala. Eri abakyala abanoonyi b'obubuddamu nammwe abaliko obulemu, enteekateeka eno egenda kubakolako mu ngeri ey'enjawulo. Okumanya ebisingawo, tuukirira Post Bank, Equity Bank, DFCO, Centenary Bank, Finance Trust Bank ne Stanbic Bank. Oba genda ku mukutu gwaffe ogwa www.grow.go.ug oba okujja ku ofiisi za PSFU ku Kyaddondo Road e Nakasero ku kizimbe kya Trust Tower omwaliiro ogusooka, oba okuweereza obubaka bwa WhatsApp ku nooti 762 3 nooti 4961. Omukisa guno gw'abakyala bonna okwetooloola eggwanga era ng'enteekateeka ya Grow evujjirirwa banka y'ensi yonna n'eteekebwa mu nkola Ministry y'ekikula ky'abantu ne Private Sector Foundation Uganda.
Grow, generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises.
Okuba omusinguzi oyine kuba stede nka Tiger. Konka k'oligula amasita na MTN Momo okusingula kw'orobi. Kozesa Momo app ningashi imata *165*3#. Tekamu merchant code, tekamu omuhendo gw'esente, tekamu Momo pin, oshashure. Congratulations! Emotoka yawe eshemerirwe kandi watunga omugisha gwo kusingura mobile money na MTN Momo.
Roll up, roll up. Let's go. Welcome to DSTV Land, the most awesomest place to spend your holidays. There's loads to explore with something for everyone. Amazing. All the best shows.
Wow.
All the best buds.
It is pretty great.
So don't miss out and let the holiday fun begin.
It's a blast!
Only on DSTV.
Jordan. When it comes to classwork, Jordan is magic. Jordan shines. Jordan makes his peers better. Jordan is a true leader. White Star Magic family. Be a leader. Be magic.
Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome back, and I hope you have a cup of coffee with you as we delve into more information that is happening along the globe as well as the East African region. And something that is interestingly happened when we look at the East African community when it comes to the increased standard of living as well as financial access, we see that in Karibu, East Africa, Kenyan banks finance initiatives, and this could be one of the reasons as to why Kenya is continuously growing every other day when it comes to their economic state as well as their foreign exchange earnings. When we compare the East African community, the member states, Kenya is one of those countries that is very much improved, and when it also comes to their exchange rate, it is very good compared to all those in the East African community. And this could be attributed to the availability and accessibility, ease in access to financial resources when it comes to their initiatives such as investment, business ventures, among others. And this has been accredited to over 26 banks in their economy that have been recognized for their excellence in enabling the Kenyans to be able to access financial aid by putting a number of easy ways for Kenyans to access these financial resources. This is something that should be a lesson to all other member states in the East African community as well as the African continent at large. In order to be able to leverage economic growth, the financial institution has a very big role to play in the economic growth of a country. And Kenya is one to look at and definitely one to pick a leaf from if we are looking to growing our economy as well as investment space when it also comes down to Uganda. Now, these 26 banks have made it easy for Kenyans to be able to access by providing easy access, of course, and this could be going down to favorable interest rates when it comes to taking out loans, as well as making it easy for them to access these collateral damages that they need to be able to have in order to get these, the collateral that they need in order to be able to get these bank loans. And that is what is in our Karibu East Africa. And moving forward to international updates, the US proposes a breakup of Google, and the initiative is to end monopoly. Now, Google is one of the well-known search engines worldwide, as it provides ease and accessible information around all the subjects that one needs to know. However, the US is having a lot to talk about this, because we see that, again, Google is what has partnered with Chrome as well as Android in order to be able to bring about this technological change that we see. And the Department of Justice does not see that this is a very fair and just enrichment when it comes to the space of technological advancement, and they think that this should be able to come to an end so that a number of other companies can be able to venture into this space and be able to ease the technology use as of date. Now, that is what is happening in US, and when it comes to the Google, I think this is going to be quite difficult to come to terms with, as the space has already been dominated for a very long time by Google. Google, I must say. Most people who are starting to use internet at least know that in case you need to get any information, the software that you need to use is Google. So it's going to be such an interesting transition. But however, when we look at such a number of new gadgets that have been put into place, for example, the iOS system, they use Safari to be able to access this vast internet knowledge. But again, Safari is again having some use of Chrome in it. So this conversation is going to be an interesting one as we dive into learning more about the technology and the technological advancement that is happening worldwide. And again, moving forward, the US charges an Indian billionaire known as Adani, and he has been charged with fraud when it comes to investment space, and he's being taken to court for, there is a lot that is being, his ambitions or his business ventures are still not under good economic integration with the USA. So he is being charged for a number of fraud reasons, and the money that he is being talked about is a lot, and I hope that this goes well for him, because the criminal charges were filed on Wednesday in New York. And we should be reminded that he's a 62-year-old who has been in this space for long. And however, he says, him and his group say that the allegations are baseless, given that all the possible legal recourse that he needed was already sought out. And that happened on, again, the 22nd, which so happens to be today, as his farms are currently being closed, and these include Adani Green Energy, which is the farm center of allegations. And the bond is being set at $600 million. However, we hope that this conversation continues on safely and well. Well, that is what we had for you in Karibu and international news. Let's take a break where we'll come back with the business quote of the day or the inspiration of the day.
Smart 24, driving business.
To GoTV, choose your package from as low as 15,000 shillings and enjoy entertainment for the whole family. Tweyagale fetwina kontenti. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Okuba omusinguzi oyine kuba stede nka Tiger. Konka kori gura mashita na MTN Momo okusingura kworobi. Kozesa Momo app ningashi imata star emwe mukagi 5 star ishatu hash. Teka Momo chant code, teka Momo hendo gwesente, teka Momo pin, oshashuri. Congratulations. Emotoka yawe shemerirwe kandi watunga omugisha gwo kusingura mobile money na MTN Momo.
If you play a game of power, Chelsea is French.
I didn't lie to you. I only withheld the information.
Any minute I get, I'm going to tell Charles. Be prepared to lose it all.
I'd rather be buried alive.
Damalai makes her boldest power play.
Very dramatic.
In season 2, Monday to Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Only on Pal Magic Prime. DSTV channel 148. GoTV channel 303.
Chichi. Baby, ababbi bakutte abapoliisi tulina obeera mu nsonga zino. Ababbi bakutte abapoliisi.
This is Matoma, and well there, scored against the club with which he won the title more than a decade ago. And it's the 100th goal.
Upgrade to become BFF with the Premier League and enjoy football's best moments at only 90,000 shillings. Go TV Uganda. Love it.
Bulu Magic is my joy. Ono Bulu Magic, wange. Ayo, talaba kumabala, atukuza nonyirirawo kirako enyange. Tayisa bubi fabriki, kyonna kyekiri kigwa lwa Bulu Magic. Bulu Magic is my choice. Ono Bulu Magic, wange. And the Bulu Magic is my choice. Hey, ono Bulu Magic, wange.
Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in again to Smart 24 as we dive into the business space and to keep our minds updated with what is trending when it comes to business so that we make the best business choices. Now, our quote of the day revolves around two main values of life, which are patience and resilience. When you are looking at starting something in life, anything in life, a new business venture, a new journey into another space, one thing that you must be willing to exercise is patience. For it takes time to be able to grow whatever it is that you need. And patience can only go hand in hand with resilience, right? In order to be able to get wherever you want. You know, it says that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, and it only takes one step at a time in order to be able to cover those whole 1,000 miles. And you need to be able to be resilient. Remember, always remind yourself why you started that journey, be persistent, and always look for ways to bring innovative ways of doing things in your community. This could be through a number of different things, such as leveraging social media. You don't need to sit back and wait for when your turn starts. You can be able to create your turn by taking charge now and creating some visibility for yourself, whether it's an NGO, whether it's a business, whether it's a new investment, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's a new perspective on life. You should be able, in this day and age, you must be able to leverage social media to your advantage because it's already here. The technological advancement is already here. And back to resilience, along the way, you are honestly going to be met by a number of challenges and hurdles, but you need to remind yourself again why you started, and you need to be able to vision where you're going. So to be able to vision where you're going and to be able to continue on this journey of wherever you want to be, you need to be able to have short-term goals as well as long-term goals, yeah? In order to get there, you must execute a number of little steps along the way. If it is a business venture, be willing to start small by doing market research, be able to look out for those people in that very space that you're in, seek out mentorship, attend networking events. And interestingly, when we look at our very own capital of Uganda, a number of networking events have been set up or networking initiatives. For example, there is the BNI that happens every Friday, and it actually happened today from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Go and leverage these platforms. Be able to make the social connections that you need. And when I talk about social connections, I mean the social capital that you're building. You must be able to leverage these events and don't just sit back and wait for when your chance comes. Sometimes we really do have to create these chances for ourselves, these opportunities. And you must be able to think fast, move fast, and do this for yourself. Be persistent. Be persistent. It is not easy, and no one said it was going to be easy. You know, everything with life is hard. It is really hard. It's hard to give up. It's hard to keep going, but at least you must be willing to choose your hard, right? The hard that is going to get you anywhere. And it's commonly and well said that the pain of regret is far worse than the pain of discipline. In order to be able to get there, if it's financial discipline that you've not yet executed, please, and you feel like you can't do it on your own, look for people in these spaces who are able to tell you this. And these days, you don't need to get someone physically in order to get this kind of information. You just need to go on your phone. For example, there are so many social media platforms that have this knowledge, and it is free of charge. There is TikTok, there is YouTube, there is X. So you leverage these platforms to your own use. Don't just be there and sit and use them for entertainment purposes. Entertainment is good, but so is knowledge. Educating yourself is what will distinguish you. And more on persistence. You need to know why you started. I repeat, you need to know why you started. It is hard. It is hard, yes. You need to be able to be resilient. If it is starting a business and you feel like you don't have enough money to get there, look at leveraging loans, financial loans. It could be from a family member, it could be from a friend, and if you're in a better position, you could probably have some collateral to give to the bank. So be able to get it and use it. And most importantly, have very good financial discipline, Some of the things that break us or build us is how we are able to handle money when we have it. You need to be able to suppress that excitement that you usually get when you get your salary or a down payment on something. If you don't have good financial discipline, all this money is going to go to waste. It is going to go to waste, and you will start to think, now some of us end up being spiritual. You will start to think that you're being bewitched because you don't see where the money is going, yet it is very hard to make, and yet it all goes down to you as a person. The mindset that you have about money is what is killing you, is what is keeping you broke. It is what is failing your business from having a kickstart. Every other time you have a penny, it is a penny to be spent in fun. And when it comes to the younger generation, or even just anyone, we always have the notion of life is short. Have you ever tried living till 45? Okay, yes, life is short, yes, but that does not mean that it is a reason for you to have a very bad financial level of discipline, yes? In order to be able to plan, you have to have some, mindset about money that is going to help you build more wealth. And most importantly, don't forget to make that money work for you. And a number of ways you can make money work for you is by investing it. Put it into something that will make it grow. That is how people are able to create generational wealth. And interestingly, 80% of the self-made of billionaires today are self-made, and most of them get this money and make it, and then they use it to make for them more money. So don't forget to work smart and working hard is also good, but don't forget to work smart as well. And that is our business motivation of the day. Please be resilient, be willing to work hard, and be patient enough, because definitely whatever you put your mind to, you are going to get it. And we are going to be getting into the business talk of the day, the insights, which will be revolving around the industrial revolution of our very own economy of Uganda. So stay for that session, and again, grab your cup of coffee, and thank you for tuning into Smart 24. And this is Smart Means Business.
Smart 24, driving business.
If you play a game of power,
Chelsea is rich.
I didn't lie to you. I only withheld the information.
Any minute I get, I'm going to tell Chelsea.
be prepared to lose it all.
I'd rather be buried alive.
Damalai makes her boldest power play.
Very dramatic.
In season 2, Monday to Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Only on Pal Magic Prime. DSTV channel 148. Go TV channel 303.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices and gets a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
Are you a woman entrepreneur or a woman owning a business and looking for affordable financing to scale up your business? Look no further than the Grow Loan. Grow Loan targets female entrepreneurs nationwide. Key features include a minimum loan amount of 4 million and a maximum loan amount of 200 million shillings, a maximum interest rate not exceeding 10.5% per annum, a loan repayment period not exceeding 24 months. All Grow Loan borrowers must comply with the Grow Project environmental and social standards. Special incentives are available for borrowers that are refugees or from the refugee host communities, people living with disabilities, and women entrepreneurs from the underserved or minority groups. To apply, contact any of the 6 participating financial institutions. Contact us for more information or visit our website at www.grow.go.ug. The Grow Loan is an intervention under the Grow Project, a Government of Uganda project financed by the World Bank and implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and the Private Sector Foundation Uganda. Grow, generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises.
Why would someone why would someone tie a big knot on you?
Are you pregnant or you're not?
Until kati mpaka lwemwogedde ebintu ebyekisiru.
Emyaka gye byekisiru. Kati muwala tuleetere chai ndo. Leeta muwala. Galo sweet galo leeta chai.
Baby galo.
Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome back from that beautiful break, and let's get into the business insights of the day, and that is shining a light on Uganda's industrial sector. Now, interestingly, Uganda's industrial sector right now is something to be proud of, as it is something that it has grown over time and at a really fast pace due to a number of things that have been put into place to see to it that the industrial sector is growing every other day. However, it is one that showcases opportunities and challenges, but that is something that comes about with any change in society. And looking back at this interesting journey from 1986, or let's say just the pre-colonial time as well as the colonial time, Uganda has transitioned in a way that then production was made for small scale and mainly subsistence use, given that our agriculture sector was one that was predominantly being relied on. But over time, it has grown to an amazing number that is to be celebrated. We see that as of date, there are over 8,000 registered industries in Uganda's economy, and that is statistics from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and they do report that annually there are over 30 new industries that are being registered, both local and foreign, and with that has come a number of new and interesting changes, such as increased levels of employment. We see there's been a number of increased infrastructure development, and just looking at the industrial sector, it does contribute 16.8% to Uganda's GDP, national GDP, and it also employs over 1.5 million employees. And this is quite promising. As of date, we are in 2024, and if this is a transition that has happened between 1986 and 2024, what is the vision of Uganda in 2050? It is probably and most likely going to be a more promising one. And again, the production has been transferred or transitioned from small-scale production to large-scale production, and with the government's latest initiative of establishing over 22 industrial parks is what is also encouraging a lot of investment in industries. Now, looking at this is quite interesting because, again, tax collection statistics alone or the tax revenue alone from the industrial sector contributes to 30% of that. And this 30% has helped the government to be able to give back to the economy by creating infrastructure development, bringing about technological advancement, and also the government has seen to it that a number of things that they do are the ones that lead or promote to this investment, such as bringing about favorable government policies around establishing governments, as well as making it easy for those new industries to register themselves in to formally register themselves as industrial people. And also this has brought about education advancement. And as of today, we see that a number of the new spaces are also increasingly being ventured into, such as the oil and gas industry that is really still fresh and new in Uganda's economy, but it is still promising. And currently the education system also encompasses of a number of educational reforms when it comes to that. We see that there's been an increase in students who are registering to study and see how to be able to navigate industries. But on a light note, 13% of Uganda's total exports are again from the industry of agriculture, and it has transitioned from agriculture to manufactured goods that has promoted increased foreign exchange. Now, looking at some of the industries individually that have brought about this increase in statistics, we look at the sugar and dairy industry. And sugar is something that is growing. We see that, for example, the Lugazi Sugar Works, we see that it has employed a number of people and gotten them out of poverty. However, the Daily Monitor tweeted last night that, again, we still see that there is still these challenges of increased numbers of poverty, as well as the people working in these spaces are still not being accredited the way that they are supposed to. However, on a bright note, we see that the sugar industry has increased its exports from 140,000. That was 2 decades ago, and it is now standing at 600,000 metric tons of sugar annually, and that is what we are exporting that is what we are trading both in the local market as well as the international market. And I do think that when it comes to increasing exports, it also increases our bargaining power when it comes to international forums, given that we are some of the good and best exporters, let me say in the agricultural industry. We are able to stand in these forums and bargain for how much we are going to be able to sell our things. And what does that pose to us? An increasing or improving foreign exchange policy. And when it comes down to the industrial parks that are being set up, we look at Namamve Industrial Park. 2 years ago, if you were cruising through that place, chances are you would live with a lot of dust in your face or anything. But as of today, we see there's been infrastructure development. The roads have been advanced. Technology has been advanced when it comes to accessibility to electricity and also it being clean energy. We see the government has set up the 600 power plant of Karuma, which was recently again launched. So it is such initiatives and such move towards positive direction that is bringing about growth of industrial sector. If you told us that, if probably 30 years ago you told us that we would be sitting here, we wouldn't have trusted that, because most of our work was being taken away by our colonial masters. However, right now we can stand and say that we are moving towards positive change and growth. And looking at steel production, we see in the eastern region, Iganga district, in a village called Kasolo village, there is this very big steel rolling company known as Tembo Steels. And Tembo Steels is employing a very big number of the Basoga, not only Basoga, but like the people who are settling there and are looking for a source of employment. Much as it is a foreign invested country, it does not mean that that is still not bringing about industrial growth. Because regardless of the fact that these earnings are taken back home, it has still brought about growth in Uganda's economy because it is fighting the problem of unemployment. Now, Tembo Steels is one of those very big countries that are helping boost Uganda's economy both locally and internationally, and it is building a number of reliance on its functions as well as that. So that is one of the sectors in Uganda that is surely growing every other day, and we are really proud of this change and the fact that it is bringing about settlement and economic prosperity of the Ugandan economy. However, when we look at the impact of industries, when it comes to a personal level, the personal level is still limited because dating back to the post by X, where Daily Monitor on X, where Daily Monitor is still talking about some of the grievances, right? Much as the people who are working in this space, from time immemorial, Jinja District has been one of those that are big on industry, but we see still that there is a lot of poverty in these areas. So industries have, yes, grown and they've helped the economy at large, but when it comes down to a personal level, why are the Basoga still facing a number of high levels of poverty where most of them are even not able to access food? So these are conversations that we should be having in order to make the impact much bigger than it already is. And looking at the dairy sector of Uganda's economy, we still see that there's been an increment in production of dairy milk that is being used to be exported and as well as promoted on the local markets. We see that we are exporting to countries in the East African community such as Kenya, Tanzania, because we have a lot of it in plenty, and it is again one of the things that are helping on Uganda's economy to build its economy. Again, we look at case studies from a number of different studies of people giving in their inspirational stories when it comes to what they have been able to make. What they have been able to make in their employment in these industries has enabled them to set up their own personal lives and be able to help them to grow when it comes to personal reach. And however, we still discuss some of the challenges that are being faced by Uganda's economy, that by the investment economy that still threatened to break it down or to slow down its growth. When we look at the dairy sector, for example, the milk processing plants are really expensive, and they can only be accessed or afforded on a large scale, which brings about which poses a challenge to the people who are doing it on a small scale and still hoping to get money from it. So when we look at this challenge, we could be able to surpass it by increasing partnerships in the people in the dairy production space or in the people in the agriculture production space. When we move together, we see that we are able to reach a larger extent, right? And when we look at this, we look at also some of the reasons as to why the UCDA has been was being fought for to stay in the same position that it was, because at a larger scale it was able to help coffee growers as well as exporters in Uganda's economy to be able to improve their export earnings, to be able to improve their knowledge on coffee production. And that is the reason as to why we see these members of parliament were increasing their fight and increasing their voice on the rationalization of the government entities, especially the UCDA. So those are some of the things that are affecting the industrial sector as well as, and then we look at the issue of limited education. The education is there, yes, but it is not that impactful for the people in this space to be able to get all the information that they need in order to run these industries, right? And this is something that is posing a challenge. How so? Most students right now are studying things that are theoretical, but if we increased our voices on vocational studies. Let's look at the oil and gas space. If we made education more practical, these are some of the things that will be able to help us fight against the vice of unfavorable education tendencies of Uganda's economy, right? And over time, we shall see that there is a growth and increased involvement of young people as well as all people around the country to take part in these industries, because now they have vast knowledge when it comes to understanding these industries. However, and most importantly, we would love to acknowledge the work done by the government. Now, when we look at the establishment of the 22 industrial parks, we see that this is going to bring about increased acceleration of the growth of the industry sector in Uganda. This will also give us a number of sectors to look at for our economic growth, as well as to increase our export earnings. You know, if we are continuously exporting and importing in the different sectors, and if they have the strength that they need to be able to export these things, as well as the support that we need, they need from us Ugandans, such as physical support, human support, technological support, of course, we are going to be able to increase Uganda's export earnings by far. Now, for more details, let's get into a video to let us know more about what is happening in the industrial sector.
Commemoration of the African Industrialization Day and highlight some of the key issues regarding the industrialization agenda in the country. The African Industrialization Day is observed globally on 20th November annually to mobilize commitment of the international community to the industrialization of Africa. And the theme for this year is leveraging artificial intelligence and green industrialization to accelerate African structural transformation. This year's theme emphasizes the enormous potential of emerging technologies, especially artificial intelligence, to power African growth in green manufacturing. Artificial intelligence can sharpen the continent's competitiveness edge in green manufacturing, boosting productivity, job creation, and African prosperity, while also reducing greenhouse emissions. Over the last 3 decades, the NRM government has steadily established and built strong foundation to increase value addition and grow the industrial sector. These include investment in improving the business environment by increasing industrial support infrastructure such as roads, energy, that's power, information, communication, and technology to help power these industrial parks. And also construction of industrial parks, both by government and private developers. This has strengthened the investment climate and research, among other things. So the goal for commemorating the African Industrial Day is to raise awareness on the strides made to industrialize Uganda, but also the continent. We will also highlight the key interventions being implemented and the efforts to advance structural transformation of our country, to build synergies between policy, investment, and innovation, to highlight strategies and best practices for harnessing the power of digitization, artificial intelligence to boost value addition and efficiency across the industrial sectors. Uganda's key achievements in the industrial sector, as you know, we passed the industrial policy a few years ago, and we have been moving on it to make sure that we industrialize our country with the view of emphasizing the policy of import substitution and export promotion. Our role mission is to ensure that whatever we are importing right now should be produced within the country, and the excess of the production is exported outside the country through building an integrated and self-sustaining economy, has established sufficient capacity to produce essential products to meet domestic demand for exports. Some of the products produced locally through the efforts of His Excellency the President and the NRM government include dairy and dairy products, leather products, pharmaceuticals, drugs, textiles, tiles, transformers, TVs, electricity meters, cables, industrial refined sugar. This sugar used to be imported to support factories like Pepsi, like Coca-Cola. But as we speak now, we are doing the industrial sugar ourselves in the country by some of the companies like Chinyala. We're also doing starch and automobile like Kira Motors, among others. So to brief you again, the industrial sector is now contributing 27.4% to our GDP. And the manufacturing alone, which is a subsector of the industrial sector, contributes 16.5% to GDP. And also, we contributed a few years ago, the current figures, we are above 7 trillion now towards the collection of Uganda Revenue Authority. The sector employs 1.5 million people and pays over 30% of our total taxes collected by URA, as I've mentioned. The manufactured value added export has now increased to over 13% of our total exports. Our production of sugar is now at 600 million metric tons. The milk production now stands at 5.3 billion liters. The current production is now 6.4 million metric tons. The annual production of steel products is at 61,000 metric tons. And as you know, still we have been importing steel worth 1 billion as a country, but also we, as a region, East African region, around 3 billion and 6 billion for the continent. And yet we have enormous resources of iron ore in Uganda, in the Kigezi region, in Liberia, a lot of it in West Africa, but we continue to import this. So the agenda of industrialization on the continent is really to utilize the raw materials we have so that we can produce the things that we are importing currently, and excess of it goes to the external market. The economy, as you know, has grown from 1.5 billion in 1986 to now 55 billion with a GDP per capita of 1,182, which has put us in the lower middle income status. We currently export services, goods and services worth 2.14 billion to the East African community, and goods and services worth 2.157 billion to the COMESA countries. And the factories have grown from a mere 83 factories in 1986. We keep referring to 1986 as our base, as a point of reference, so that we can track the progress we are making under the leadership of His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni. And now, currently, we are having over 8,000 factories in the country, and we continue to grow. We see that every other year we are adding over 30 factories. And if we improve on the electricity that we need, if we improve on the road infrastructure and continue this climate, especially peace and security, we hope that in the next 10 years, this country will have actually achieved the 35% of our GDP being through industrialization. So members of the media, I truly called you to say that we are going to commemorate the Africa Industrialization Day, starting from 9th to 13th December 2024. And this is an annual event, and we want you to, through you, to inform your esteemed customers that the country is making progress on the path of industrialization. We are both small scale and large scale. And that's the purpose why we invited you here. And I think given the time I came in, I have summarized this information, which can be given to you for further dissemination to our population.
Yes. Now that was a speech from one of the people from Ministry of Trade and Industries. And according to that, he says that they are basing their statistics from the year of 1986, because this is when the reigning president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, came into power. And by then, we only had about 83 industries that were currently running. And as of date in 2024, we have about 8,000 industries that are running, and 30 are being opened annually and registered. And of course, with this positive change, we are ought to be set ahead for the future generations to come, and with improved infrastructure, availability of electricity, among others, that is a way that we as an economy are going to be able to increase and be able to grow our industrial sector. Thank you so much for listening into that conversation. And as we come back to Smart Means Business, this marks the end of today's or this week's Smart Means Business. As we go into the weekend, I would love to remind you to take care of yourself, keep yourself safe, and I wish you nice preparations as we prepare for the festivities. We see that a number of malls in Kampala have already started decorating for the festive season. Please take care of yourself, and please stay tuned in to Smart 24 as we are going to be having more conversations about business as the day progresses. Now, my name is Falda Chirabo Nachimuli, and thank you for joining us for today's Smart Means Business. I hope to see you again next week on Monday. Have a lovely weekend.